It's Friday today, and this is day one of my recordings. It's like 10 to 9 in the morning, and these are some of the things that I think I'm gonna like expect to see slash hear. There's gonna be dog walkers around. I just know it because it's near the beach. There's probably gonna be uh, families pushing their young children around in their prams. Probably a lot of buses as well because it is quite early in the morning. I'm not quite sure what kind of smell there'll be and how loud everyone will be because everyone's in like their own bubble at the moment. But yeah, first day of filming, I'm just gonna react to it and talk about some stuff. Yeah, I was actually quite lucky. I got there. So it was literally when the clocks. I was literally right behind where where this is a clock tower. So the bell rang at 9 o'clock. And yes, things have like I expected have already been ticked off. Like there's a couple of buses going around. There's a couple of people like walking with their children and just some elderly people as well. But I couldn't really hear their conversations. They were sort of too far away. But it didn't seem like they were having too many conversations. You know? Yeah. So I also heard some dog barking as well. Yeah, and that's something I predicted as well. I counted 3 buses and 4 cars overall in this recording. Yeah. Oh, and I could also hear like seagulls all the time, constantly. Okay, so it's day 2 and it's Saturday. I'm recording. The time is I don't want to don't even watch. The time is 11:20 right now. And seeing as it's like the weekend, I expect it's going to be a bit more busy. The weather is still quite mild though. There is a little bit of the sun out there, but I don't know how much I can catch it on camera. But I think it's still because of like COVID times. I think like I won't be able to hear a lot of conversations because I don't think there'll be that many people stopping. Because like the place that I live, it's like you only really stop and say hello to someone if you like actually know them. Everyone's just in their own sort of like bubble. Like they don't really look or talk to each other that much. But I don't know, maybe might catch someone like talking on camera. But maybe a couple, maybe more dog walkers. As I think I'll probably hear once again a lot more seagulls. Alright, just come back. This is my first time seeing it, so I'm just gonna rewatch it and then talk about some things. Yeah, actually, it was a lot sunnier than I expected. Like when I looked out the window, it looked a lot milder. But actually, the sun came out a little bit. There's quite a lot of people walking around, mostly sort of elderly people. But I could see a lot of people actually walking on the beach. There was still quite a couple of cars passing by. Also, actually, behind me, you can hear some construction work. Like there was obviously people doing some construction work behind you. You can hear like all the machinery and stuff. I don't know if you can actually hear in the video itself, but I could hear like pop music. So they were probably playing pop music while doing the work. Obviously, you can hear seagulls again, and in the background I could hear some like dogs barking, but I don't know if it picked it up on the video. Day 3 and we're back, and it's Sunday. The time is 5:45. So I should get roughly around there. I should roughly get there for around about 5:50. It is quite wet outside, so I doubt there's going to be that many people out, but who knows? Once again, I probably won't hear any conversations. I think my prediction's that there'll be a couple of cars driving past, maybe a couple of people walking, and of course, definitely a lot of seagulls. Yeah. Okay, so I'm back. Just come back from recording it, and gonna have a look at it right now. So. I think this is like the only time that I went out where I was actually like bored. I couldn't. There wasn't anything that like sort of draw me in. Like every single time, there's been other stuff that's drawn me in, like the dogs barking or the cars passing past, even the seagulls. Like even drawing me in, and like also seeing like where people are going. But maybe it was just due to the weather and it was really damp and it was wet outside. But like there wasn't that much going on either. So hopefully tomorrow is a lot more exciting. We're back. It's Monday today. The time is like 8:50, and so when I get there, I'll probably be roughly like 9ish. The reason why I've chosen this time is because like all the other days that I've done, like they're either early morning, late morning, or late afternoon. But like it's probably my predictions for today. And my finding, it's probably going to be dead. I don't think anyone's going to be out. But then I think it just gives like a chance, like for me to record to see what Seaton has to offer when it's not filled with like man-made objects. You know, like cars and buses and people walking around. So it'll give like I'll actually probably be able to hear properly like the sea, the wind, and like the waves crashing and stuff like that. I've just gotten back and I'm actually sort of surprised because literally as soon as I came down there was a distinct smell of marijuana, and like I could like hear like teenagers that are having a conversation. They were literally just a bit further down from me. Normally I would have had my flash on so like you would have been able to see everything, but if I did that, it probably would have startled them and probably creeped them out. And this is like so far this is like the only time where I felt like on edge, recording other people and so forth. But like other than that, there wasn't really that much else to talk about. I mean, there was a bit of wind. I could hear a bit of the sea crash, but like other than the other stuff that I talked about, there really wasn't really anything really. Yeah. And it's Tuesday today, and the time is roughly like 11:20. Yeah, the reason why I picked this time is because like last night there was actually like some interesting things that were going on. I thought maybe I might do it again, but later, see if there's anyone out still. Just gone back and it was dead. All I could hear really was the waves crashing and the wind. But actually, something that sort of pulled me in was an ambulance, like down by the seafront. We don't see ambulances around in Seaton that often. So it's the last day. It is Wednesday, and the time is roughly 1:15. This is like the only early afternoon video that I've done, and my predictions are for it is that it's going to be pretty much the same as as it has been throughout this whole entire like investigation. I think there will be a couple of cars going past, buses, maybe just like that car like smell that you get. Probably maybe chattering some elderly people in the distance. But I think that's roughly around about it, really. Okay, so I'm back, and most of my predictions were pretty much spot on. I mean, I predicted there was going to be a couple of cars and buses there, which there were. I mean, it was a lot sunnier than I expected and a lot more warmer, actually. But one thing that really sort of stood out to me was that, because I stood nearer the cars and buses this time, I thought I'd get that sort of car smell. But actually, I didn't really smell any of that at all. I had like that fresh air smell, which was actually a nice change, because normally when I was going, I had a lot of that sort of sea salt smell.